We chose to do, for our theme, the 12 Steps to a Compassionate Life by Karen Armstrong. What she's proposing is that we all have a spiritual practice to create more compassion in the world, to create more compassion in our lives.
Knife in a surgeon's hands can heal and set things right. That same knife in a hateful hand can take away a life.
This year I went on a border trip with the UU Justice Ministry and some of the members of our congregation. We learned that Tijuana gets about 200 to 300 people a day deported and just dropped over the border. We were able to do service projects. We met people, we heard stories, we listened carefully. At one point I was standing at the border fence and heard a man on the side I was on in Mexico talking to a woman and a little girl on the US side, asking the little girl to remember the bracelet he gave her. And she said that she would.
Lovely stone hewn from the earth, we used to build our homes.
Crop Walk is an annual exercise, and it raises money that assists with needs in the developing world, and also part of the money that is raised stays in the local communities. And the reason they do the walk, by the way, is symbolic, as the slogan of the Crop Walk is, "We walk because they walk." In other words, it represents the fact that comfortable, affluent Western people decide that they're going to go on a 10-kilometer walk in solidarity with brothers and sisters in places where people have to do a lot of walking because they don't have the transportation options that we do.
God in a loving heart can fill the world with light.
The organization is called Alternatives to Violence Project, and the work is done in men's and women's prisons in the state of California. Much to my surprise, it was a very non-threatening, friendly environment. The inmates that come participate in this program volunteer. They want to be there because they're looking to better themselves and to develop skills that are going to help them stay out of prison once they leave. The huge reward for me has been the one-to-one connection, human to human. One of the fellows wrote something to me in Spanish, so I had to have it interpreted. You folks are the light in our darkness. To have that impact on people is very profound.
Words are just as powerful before you let them roll. Stop and think what scars they'll leave on the tender soul.
I've been involved with the Ohio Raptor Center for 6 years, and I'm currently on the board of directors. They probably return more than 60% of the birds they take in are returned to the wild. Currently what I'm doing is picking up injured animals, and I take them up to Ohio. I've handled great horned owls and various hawks, barn owls, lots of barn owls. It's really important to have heavy leather gloves. When they're injured, they're going to try to get you. They're going to strike out at you if they can with their talons.
I just love the Ohio Raptor Center. I volunteer there, and I go around to the different cages and I feed all the red-tailed hawks and peregrine falcons and all the raptors. When you hold them in your hands, they start to lower their anxiety and they just settle in your hand, and it's really amazing. My favorite is a peregrine falcon named Jewel, and she was mistreated and she was starving, so they bring her back and she almost died, and they had to tube feed her for 2 months. Now she's back to full health, and I'm really happy for her.
Are your words honest? Are they kind?
I've been facilitating trips out to the Adelanto Detention Center. People are being locked up there that have committed no crime. They're not held as criminals, they're held as a civil offense, so they don't have a right to an attorney and the due process that criminals get. These people are so isolated, like Many people we visit have never had a visitor. We let them know that there's somebody on the outside that cares about them and knows about them. I've personally visited 11 people out there from 8 different countries, and I have never met anyone there that I thought should be locked up. We find when we go out there that these are real human beings. When you get to sit and talk to somebody for an hour, they really, really look forward to our visit. When we talk to them, it's a very emotional experience.
Are they necessary? Is this the time?
I had a management job and I always thought I should do something for the homeless, but I never had time. Now that I'm retired, I have time.
We cook chicken for upwards of 80 to 120 people. And then individuals at home will make side dishes and desserts.
There's a lot of gratification that comes from being able to provide a really good home-cooked meal for people that don't regularly have enough food to eat.
I've been doing Feeding Hands as long as the fellowship has been doing it, which is I think 12 or 13 years. I have always visited with the clients. If I miss a month, I miss it terribly because it means so much to me.
Then say your words, speak your truth.
When you sit across the table from someone whose life experience is so different from yours, to listen deeply, to listen without judging, to simply listen and not fix.
I will